Why aren't you using your mouse?
Because I don't have a dongle.
You don't have a dingle or dongle?
I don't know. The dongle thingy, it usually is in the back of the mouse. But look, it's gone. And I threw it. Oh, no, wait. That's not the back of the mouse. This one comes apart on top.
Ooh.
It's magnetic. Look at that. Fun times.
No dingle.
No dingle. No dongle. So, yeah, I don't have that. So, yeah. So that's how we're starting the show.
All right. Good times.
Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like.
Welcome to Drunk Bitches Be Like. I'm Brandy.
I'm Mindy.
And this is all about two women, a few beers, some tipsy stories, and some drunk ideas.
Welcome.
All right.
All right.
So,
Live.
We're live.
Live all the way live.
Hopefully you can hear us, and hopefully the sound effects and music and stuff isn't too loud, because usually I have to edit all that shit, and clearly that's not happening this time. Trying to add it at the same time, and I don't know really what I'm doing.
This is our first time.
Yeah.
We're virgins. And
We're doing stuff.
We're doing things. Hey, if you're hearing this, tweet us because, okay, nobody cares about that. My Amazon store card is getting a new look. Nobody cares.
So also, if you're listening to us on the Spreaker app, I believe, because we use Spreaker as our RSS feed and everything, and that's what we go through, they have a chat feature when you're doing live. So I think there should be a chat feature or something on your end. I don't know. I didn't look into this because I'm an awful, producer person. But I think you can send us chat messages. So that would be cool.
All right. We are, we think we're live on Facebook and YouTube. We're not sure. We didn't practice or anything.
Possibly Apple. I mean, how do you practice this, though? Are we going to put out like a 5-minute spot on? We could.
We probably should at some point do
yeah.
something like adults and try to do this for real.
Probably, but that's, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's fine. We're good.
I'm drunk.
Yeah, we already did that. So, for everybody who constantly asked, and I know we've already addressed this in some of our other shows and asked, are you really drunk? Yeah, because clearly I had trouble setting this shit up. So, hopefully we're doing this right.
We are really drunk. I was trying to get a head start at home. So I took 2 shots of Makers and put it into a glass of ginger ale. Ooh. And that wasn't going fast enough. So I was like, well, I'll put 2 shots into a rocks glass, which is half the glass, and then with ice, and then fill it up with Dr. Pepper, and that tastes like cough syrup.
Ooh.
So then I drank enough out of the ginger ale glass. That was me. I'll take that off the table. Then I drank enough of the ginger ale glass to pour the Dr. Pepper glass into it.
Uh-huh.
And then I just kept adding to it as I would add Dr. Pepper. I would take
Dr. Pepper ginger ale and Makers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And eventually it just became Dr. Pepper and Makers, I think.
Oh.
I don't know what chemistry drinks have. But what I would do is I kept pouring Makers in, then Dr. Pepper, and then taking huge drink, then Makers, Dr. Pepper, huge drink, Makers, Dr. Pepper. Oh. So I just, I don't know. I think I drank 1/8 of the bottle of Makers.
Fantastic.
All I know is that when we were about to leave, I was like, fuck, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And now I have 2 beers that I'm very happy with.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah. They got rid of my really happy beer, and I never got to try the 15% beer, and we really don't want to do a show that showcases Mindy on a 15% beer.
Well, I mean, maybe. I keep reaching for my mouse, and it doesn't work, and I keep forgetting that.
No dongle.
No dongle.
Your dongle-less.
My dongle is gone.
Your dongle is gone.
It was in a pocket at one point, because I remember finding it and going, ooh, I need this, and I put it in a jean pocket. And now I don't know where that went.
It's
probably in the drawer.
We always complain about not having pockets, and we have pockets, and we fuck it up. So maybe that's why men don't give us pockets.
Oh, we need
to protect us.
So many pockets that never come.
I was just into an argument with some woman on Facebook, which is just so stupid.
Oh, God.
But we were arguing about Leah Thomas and the swimming thing. And I was like, look, here's the thing. Kelsey Vaughn, Olympic swimmer,
Yeah.
did this entire piece on why Leah Thomas doesn't actually have an advantage.
I read
why
that.
it doesn't-
Yeah.
So on and so forth. And so I was like, I'll believe her. Also, your internalized misogyny. She literally put in a comment that women biologically were meant to put on fat and produce children.
Oh, that's not happening.
And I was like, your internalized misogyny is fucking killing me. Like, it should be killing you too,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
Like, how can you do this? I was like, also, your transphobia is off the charts about this entire subject. And she wrote back and was like, my professor said, and I was like, you're full of shit. I don't believe you in the least. That you're, and she was like,
Did she say which college she went to?
No.
Uh-huh.
care.
I mean, that's in question there.
I know.
Because
I was
I'm
like,
sure her professor did say something stupid, but you know, if you went to like, well, hold on.
She was like, my professor is such a leftist, it's disgusting. And I was like,
okay.
well, then I don't believe anything you say. I am such a leftist, it's disgusting. And I don't think you believe anything I say.
Nope. So you're not going to listen to anything anybody says to you.
I have just slurped the beer.
I've spilled on myself so many times today.
I
and I
just
wasn't even
lizard drank the beer like.
So I feel like you have a list of things, which, all right. So anybody who's listening to us, normally, so Mindy usually comes very prepared with a list of things.
Ish.
I do not.
I took my
Because
glasses off. It's getting serious.
I'm terrible at preparing for stuff. But then, you know, I have the opportunity to go back later and like cut things out. So it makes it sound like I know what the fuck's going on. But I really don't. So let's dive in. What do we got first?
No, I in all honesty, I was just putting together a bunch of shit. So I sold my pre-marriage house.
Oh, yay.
We're going to close on Tuesday, which means I get a moderate amount of money. I didn't sell it for what I wanted to sell it, but I didn't sell it for what they first offered, which was okay. They first offered $65,000, and my realtor was like, "You will walk away with $7,000," and I was like, "That is not nearly enough."
No.
So we count over 70,000, and I think I walk away with 12,000 or something like that, 12 or 10. I don't know.
All right. So here's a question, because I feel like this is something near and dear to my heart. Not near and dear, because I really don't give a shit about houses.
real estate.
I do. But you and your significant other moved in together a while ago. How long did it take you to sell your house? Like, how long have you been together before you sold your house when like you were living together?
So we started. So I had he was living there.
Oh yes, so you had a
Until
renter. So you
October.
were at least renting.
I had a renter to make sure shit didn't get stolen. And the entire time she was there, the only thing that got stolen was downspout, an aluminum downspout.
Downspout? Who steals a downspout?
Somebody desperate for metal. I don't
Wow.
know. It
All
was
right.
like it had to have been like 30 cents at the fucking recycling yard.
I mean, if anybody wants some metal, I ran over my downspout in my garage. It's been flattened for probably a good year and a half, and
Just
you
toss
can't,
it in the alley,
it's not
somebody
a
will get it.
it's
Is
still
Miamisburg-
attached, but you know.
Does Miamisburg have that thing? Like, so the phenomena in my neighborhood is that anything you put in the alley will be gone within an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless you actually want it gone, and then
So when we were putting things in the alley, my husband was like, "Should we put this in the alley?" And I was like, "No, that is something that they could bring up to the house and like bust a window open with, or throw in the garage."
Yeah.
So like I had some criteria for what could go in the alley,
right? Yeah.
because I know what kind of heathen hoodlums run around. And
Yeah.
they've set garages on fire. I just don't need to
that's
give
not
them
good.
anything to.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody knows about this podcast. It's going to buy my house. Welcome to the neighborhood. So I was like, there's only so many things that we're going to do. So we started doing some work on the house because we wanted it to be at its best condition. We had put flooring in before Dee moved in, and then painted cabinets. Cabinets had already been put in. There were some structural things that we had already changed while I was living there. And then I kind of gave up.
Yeah.
I was just like, nah.
Yeah.
We tried to salvage the original baseboards, which in a 100-year-old home, when we started to pry them off, they just splintered.
Oh yeah, because they're like heavy duty wood, like
Yeah.
they're original.
And they're so so dry and they're kindling. So as soon as we started prying on them, because they're wedged in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they did 100 years ago, but they didn't even need nails.
Oh, anything I do in my house, I'm
A
terrified.
ton of nails in.
I'm terrified if I have to use the floorboard. Like, if I have to move the baseboards or anything like that, I'm like, nope, we're not doing that because I don't want to have to screw with those.
Yeah, so they all cracked and fell apart, and I was like, fuck it,
Makes
we're
sense.
just not doing this. So we put up an 8-inch baseboard everywhere. We put a shoe down.
Okay.
The piece that goes in between the baseboard and the floor.
Okay.
Little tiny.
The little tiny guy.
Yeah. We put that down.
Crescent.
Honey did all of the little like caulking and stuff that he should do, and then he went back in. You said caulk. So he went back in and he did spackling over the nails.
Yeah.
And then I tried. So glad they sold this goddamn house. I tried my hardest to sand. We all know I have a broken wing.
Yeah.
It's not quite. So I can't support my weight on it, which means that when I'm trying to sand
Right.
with my left hand,
Uh-huh.
I can't support my weight with my right hand.
Uh-huh.
So I just laid on the ground like a snake on the left side and like sanded
Nice.
and was using my feet to push myself around.
Excellent.
It was not going well. Also, I can't paint with my right hand all that well, but I was trying to, so it was going very slowly. And then I had it dawned on me at some point that I should probably just get like a spackling tool.
Yeah.
And put up against the floor and the baseboard to stop me from painting the fucking floor.
Oh, yeah.
That came too late.
Yeah.
That realization came very late in the day.
Yeah.
So yes.
But you know what? Even when you do that, like once it gets so much paint on it and you move it to the next joint, it gets paint on the floor.
As long as it's not on the bottom,
Yeah.
I was fine with. But so I gave up, and then the realtor said, "Well, we have an investor that wants to come in and take a look at it." And I was like, "Great." So when we seriously started letting people look at it was sometime in December, and so now here we are in March, and it sold without ever having an open house or having actual people come in and look at it.
Okay.
So I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think I could have gotten more if I would have put it on the market, but
Yeah.
also I was walking around at it last weekend going, I fucking hate you. I hate everything about you. Why is this tile
You
loose?
just
Why
wanna
is
get
it
rid of it.
cracked? Why is
Yeah.
it? I'm done. I had this very brief moment where I was like, we have done so much to this house and it is so good, and somebody would be so happy to have this house in the condition that it's in because we redid the heating and air conditioning and the roof and the windows and the flooring.
You did the big stuff.
And then the other part, and the electric, and the other part of me was like, the tile is on like the most flexible fucking backer board that you've ever seen, that like the grouting is just coming up every time I sweep it. I gave up.
Yeah.
I just gave up. So
I mean-
we took an offer $5,000 below what we wanted.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I think that's fine.
It's fine. I don't care. I'm gonna go get it Telluride next weekend. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna lease it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna lease it. So
Yeah.
it's either that or boobs.
Okay.
I'm on the fence.
Wait, I thought you already got boobs.
I know I need new boobs.
Why?
I don't know. They're like 25 years old.
Oh.
No, wait. No, 19. Nope. I can't do math. 16 years old? 16. I got them in 2006. They're
So
16.
they're like driving a car now, and you're like, all right, well, they're leaving the nest and any new ones.
I know. I had a doctor say that, like, as long as they're not causing you problems, they're fine. And I was like, nah, they're just not
Yeah.
what they used to be.
Well, technology, I'm sure, has progressed since then, and they're
Right?
yeah.
They will never be as good as natural boobies.
No.
They will never stick out as far. Women walking around with some natural G cups have it all on us, but they have back pain. So I
Yeah.
don't have that because saline weighs nothing.
I don't have G cups, and I'm nowhere near G cups. But I will say, last week I went a solid 5 days without wearing a bra, and it was the most magical thing of my entire life. Today I had to put on a bra. I was like, everything hurts. My
No.
back hurts. Everything hurts.
I refuse. I had a cardiac CAT scan today, and she was like, "Are you wearing a bra? Because you'll have to take it off." And I was like, "No, I stopped wearing a bra like months ago.
Yeah.
Not doing it again.
Yeah.
I will do it if we have to go someplace fancy,
Yeah.
or I'm wearing white because I don't want to wear nipple pasties."
I feel like I do it mostly when I'm wearing like a shirt or something, where I'm like, you can definitely like it's thin enough that I'm like I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I feel like I'm in a nightie and I'm gonna be around people other than the people in my house.
What a nightie around people while you're just running around in a nightie?
Well, I've done that already. Okay, so I was in my nanny once, and I was working from home all day, and there was a dying cat in my yard, and I had to call.
Aww.
I know. I was like, my neighbor was like, "Hey, I think there's a cat died in your yard." And I'm like, "What?" And there's this cat, and he was just like stretching out and totally like meowing, and he wouldn't leave. And so finally, I called like the local police, like not 911, but like just called the local police, and like they finally came out to my house, and I had to go out on the front porch to talk to the cop, and I was standing there, and I was like, I'm in my nightie, and I was just like crossing my arms in front of me, going, "Yeah, he's under that bush over there. If you could, I don't know what you want to do with him. Like, take him to the vet. I don't know." But yeah, if you could take care of that, that would be great.
If you could take him to Dr. White, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much, because I'm clearly not doing that right now.
You know, that doctor at that vet is Dee's family.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's my vet for I have a cat named Dexter.
Yeah.
And it's Dexter's vet. And we actually met the other night, not for the first time because she's my vet, but I see her like once a year for his checkup. So it's not like we know each other. That always drives me nuts. All right. I go to the dentist every year, and I go once a year every 6 months to the dentist.
You go twice a
6
year.
months. I go twice a year. But every 6 months when I go to the dentist, I always have the same tech, and she remembers everything about me. And I never remember who she is, and I never remember her name. And
I think they make notes in their software.
I know, and that's unfair. Like, do I need to make notes in my calendar when I go there? Like, all right, my dental tech is whatever. But I loved this interaction because I met the vet at an outside event. It was like a bourbon tasting thing, whatever. And we were sitting at the same table. And she looked at me and she goes, "You look familiar." And my significant other was like, "Oh, this is Dr. whatever." And I was like, "Oh, you're Dexter's vet." And she goes, "Oh." And I was like, "Yeah, we only see you once a year." And she was like, "Well, that's a good thing, right?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, because he's pretty healthy, so I don't have to go see you all the time, so that's great. But yeah, you're my vet. So that's how I know you. I've been going to see you for the past 10 years. It's fine. Like, neither one of us knew each other sitting down at the table. Like, we had to be introduced. But I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I probably should know her, but like
Valerie.
Yeah, I see her once a year, and that's it." And usually when I'm seeing you, I'm ending up spending between $200 to $1,000, depending on what the fuck we're there for.
I just keep giving you money.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a one-sided relationship.
Yeah, you're kind of a bank. I just like deposit money all the time, so I guess I just like wipe you out of my brain.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drunk.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to use my mouse again. Here, let's do this because I haven't done this in a while. Okay.
So,
Next topic.
I watched this new show.
Oh, what are you watching?
Okay, so I only watched it because it's set in Ohio.
Oh my god! Please tell me it's not the Kanye Can't Pete thing.
No, that's above that.
All
We're
right.
going to talk about that some other time. Welcome to Flatch.
What?
So it's very Parks and Rec like.
Okay.
And it's called Welcome to Flatch. It's a fictional town in Ohio.
Uh-huh.
And I just had it on the other night, and my ears perked up because one of my favorite things in the entire world is to be watching a show and have them randomly mention Dayton, Xenia, Cincinnati, something close to us.
Oh yeah, something you're
Right.
familiar with. Yeah.
And so they're driving around, and the guy like wants to go get a present for this girl, and his cousin is like, "Stop already! I will take you to Dayton today." And I was like, so Flatch is close to Dayton,
Apparently.
in their heads, when they're writing
Yeah.
Flatch is close to Dayton. So I was very excited, and then I was reading on it, and they were like, it has to be someplace between Dayton and Xenia because they reference them being close by, and then both of them are wearing vintage like Columbus type sweatshirts.
Okay.
So I was like, that's interesting, but it is, I'm not into it yet, but I was very excited about that. So it reminds me of watching a Law and Order, and they were like, they found the car that they fled in. So New York, Law and Order is New York.
Yeah.
They found the car that they had fled in. It was abandoned outside of Xenia, Ohio. I was like, Xenia?
So they made a show
Fucking Xenia?
around Dayton and didn't do any research on how to pronounce any of the names.
Right. I was like, Xenia. No, I mean, even if you had pronounced it like Warrior Princess, you would have at least gotten Xena.
Just wait until they go to visit Versailles or Russia, Ohio.
Bellefontaine. I'm sorry. Did you mean Belle Fountain? There's you in that. We don't care. We don't fucking care.
Do they call it Dayton or do they say Dayton?
No, they very were like casual with it. So Dayton.
So it is
I feel
Dayton.
like they
Okay.
I feel like they got that right
Yeah.
because there's a broadcaster on our news channels that calls it Dayton.
Yeah, whenever you get a new, so we've previously talked about the fact that I used to work in news locally, and whenever we'd get a new reporter in, non-fail, like the whole first week that they would be on air, Dayton, and it was like, stop pronouncing the T, fucker. It's like Louisville.
Dayton.
Yeah, it's like Louisville. You say it with like fucking marbles in your mouth, and you don't know what you're saying. Like Dayton. It's
We're
just
in Dayton.
Dayton.
Dayton, Ohio.
It's not Dayton. Not Daytona. Dayton. And they always overpronounce it too. So there's like a really hard T sound. It's like they didn't just say like Dayton. It's Dayton.
Everybody has this in their town because
Oh.
there's also like Beaver Creek.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, it's not two words.
No, it's all one.
And also it's Beaver Creek.
Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek.
Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek.
Yeah, it was always interesting. And you know what? I feel like the thing is too, you can tell, so if there's a local reporter that keeps saying Dayton for months and months, that means nobody likes them.
Really?
Because
'Cause
after
nobody's told them.
after the first week, if there's somebody you really like and you're like, oh, they just don't know any better, like you'll say something to them. So then it either gets to, if you like them, they said something to them and they didn't correct it, then either they're an ass and then nobody will like them after that, or they corrected themselves and everybody gets along. So if they continually, after a couple of months, like still say Dayton, then either nobody liked them in the first place, or somebody corrected them and they never corrected it, and now nobody likes them. So that's pretty much
Every
a good.
the station is like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Or,
All right. Well, clearly you
Bitch.
don't know how to take direction.
oh my god. Yeah, so I was that's really interesting. It's a very Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Like it's slightly annoying.
Mhm.
It's got American Pie. Stifler. It's got Stifler in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stifler. Not Stifler's mom, just Stifler.
Oh,
So it was he plays like a reverend in it. So it was I don't know where I'm on it. I'm kind of on the fence.
I've been really big into like the period pieces lately.
Have you really? What are you watching?
So
Tell me.
I started watching The Gilded Age on HBO.
I want to watch that
Yeah. So I'm a little
because that has Christina Baranz in it.
yes.
Love her.
So good. No, she's fantastic in it. So it's more like
If you guys don't know who Christina Baranz is, she was in The Good Wife and then The Good Fight,
yes.
and she was also in Sybil. As Sybil's best friend, and she's as old as I am.
My favorite role that she has ever had was she was in the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. She was
I never watched it.
oh my god. She was amazing. She
I
was
like Jim Carrey as a human being, but as an actor, I'm
she
like
was in love with the Grinch as a small child, and she grew up and she's like in a Santa costume the whole time, and she's like she has this giant gun that like puts like light bulbs on her house, and she's just fabulous. She's fabulous. Like, okay, if you don't, it doesn't matter if you like Jim Carrey or not. Watch it for her. Like she like makes the movie. She's totally one of those like side characters that just like steals every scene she's in.
I love her,
She's fabulous.
and her delivery is so amazing.
Well, in this one, she's like old school, like she's old money.
So is she like a younger version of Maggie Smith in Downton Abbey?
Sort of, kind of. So,
Like I loved Maggie Smith in Downton
yeah.
Abbey. Like she had the barbs.
yeah. So Gilded Age is kind of a knockoff of Downton Abbey. Not quite as classy because it's set in New York City, and it's basically about turn of the century when there was like the old money and the new money.
Yeah.
So like the new money was like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers, and and it's basically about these new people that are coming in that like own railroads and things like that are like money.
Railroads? Did you say
Railroads?
railroads?
the rail things that the trains travel on.
uh-huh.
Yeah, they build those.
They're like railroads. They're really big, menacing.
Yeah, but so it's basically it follows this one family that just moved into New York and built this giant mansion like in the prime of town.
Also like the Vanderbilts.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like and so they just moved in, but they moved in across the street from Christine's character,
Okay.
and she's old money, and she's like, no, we all hang out with the Astors and the whatever, because they're all old school, like New York
Nice.
money, and they don't want to socialize with the new people because they're trying to make their way in
And
without.
they're brash.
Oh,
and they're,
yeah, they're-
la, la, la.
And they do everything the American way, whereas everybody else has like English butlers and whatever else, and they do it the old school way. So it's I don't know. I really get into that kind of stuff. I think it's kind of funny and whatever. So I enjoy it. I'm a couple episodes behind right now. They release a new episode every Monday though. You don't get to do the binge thing like you do on Netflix
Right.
because it's HBO. So they release a new episode every Monday. So I'm like 2 weeks behind, but I was like keeping up with it. So I'm like 5 episodes in. But so far, I really enjoy it. It's real fun. But also, I just saw today, my phone sent me an alert. I really loved Bridgerton, which came on Netflix last year.
So I read the books.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of on the fence about watching the shows, but I did start watching Sanditon,
Okay.
which is PBS Masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their semi-version, not
Virgin?
virgin.
They're
Also,
virgin
they're virgin. Semi-version of it. I just asked the husband if he could hear us, and he said we're kind of breaking up. So
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
it is what it is.
Wi-Fi.
So he said that it is, or he said that we're breaking up and then we're going to move on from that.
Yeah.
It is.
Are you breaking up?
We're not. It is kind of like Bridgerton, but
Okay.
I haven't gotten too far into it. I'm like 3 episodes into it,
Okay.
and I can't really compare it to Bridgerton. I don't think it's as romantic.
Well, I will say, so you haven't seen Bridgerton?
No,
All right. So,
it's not as breast heavy.
yeah, the first, like, I didn't realize this, but I knew the second season was coming out soon. So I went back and started rewatching the first season because I watched it last year when it came out. And so I started rewatching it, and there's, I sometimes when I work from home like to go to the little wine shop around the corner because they're not open during the day, and so I have the place to myself, and it's quiet, and I can sit on my laptop, and there's a big TV, so I can pop up some Netflix on there and watch whatever I want while I'm working on my computer. And I did that one day, and I was rewatching some Bridgerton, and like the first like 3 to 4 episodes, I think, were like very like Renaissance, whatever else. But then somebody gets married, and
They're allowed to have sex then.
there was an episode, and I was sitting there watching it, and I kept looking around going, if anybody walks by the wine shop and sees like in the window, they're going to think I'm in there watching porn. Like, because it was like they're on their honeymoon, but like they show everything.
You're like, boobies!
I know. I'm like, there is everything. And I mean, that Renee Page, I don't even know how to say his name. It's French. He's lovely, lovely human being.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a lovely human being. But yeah, so I was sitting there, and I feel like there's a good 2 or 3 episodes in a row where it's just like nonstop people having sex, and I'm like, holy crap.
Like I'm not watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is like different. Downton Abbey, nobody took off a glove, like
Right.
Like this one, it was like, oh my god, like they're showing everything.
Do you know I never watched season 6 of Downton Abbey, and I feel like I left it undone.
I started watching it, and I finished all the seasons, but I still haven't watched the movies. Now I need to go watch the movies.
I need to watch season 6 and then the movie. I hate watched it for a while, and then I never got over the fact that I fucking hate Mary with a passion. I don't like her. She would sometimes become like a very, like, you would want to be like compassionate towards her, and then she would do something shitty to Edith, and I'm like, I don't like you again.
Well, that's the problem. I feel like her and Edith's relationship kind of ruined it for a lot of people because, like, I don't hate Mary, but I can absolutely see where people would hate her because I really liked Edith.
Yeah.
But I also like Edith did some shit too in the beginning.
Yeah.
But like the last 4 seasons, Edith was pure and lovely, and it's like Mary never got better.
Right.
Like Edith like had a journey, and she like totally
spoiler
had a-
alert, like Mary's fiance dies,
Yeah.
and then she's an asshole still.
Yeah.
I'm like, even Maggie Smith got better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like everybody got like an arc where they got better,
Right.
and Mary just kind of stayed status
Do you know
quo.
what though? I loved the mother, Elizabeth. I forget her name right now, but she was in a couple of really good movies in the 80s. So like He Said, She Said, and She's Having a Baby.
Mm-hmm.
She's Having a Baby is one of my favorite movies from the 80s and 90s,
Nice.
and it's it makes you cry. The whole ending of it, because it has Oh, I'm gonna get all these names wrong, and I'm not gonna look it up on my phone. Anyway, Kate Bush. This woman's work is never done. So it. Oh my God, it's. She does Elizabeth Perkins. She does some of the most amazing acting in that stuff. So when I saw her on this thing, the only thing that she's a little bit simpy. Like I just.
Yeah.
Mary. She's just very like, darling. But then when shit like goes wrong, she's very okay about it.
Yeah.
Like she's like, okay, your maid has been accused of murdering somebody, and you're like, I believe her.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay. We all believe you.
Well, I thought it was funny because the whole Downton Abbey thing, like the mother, she was American and the rest of everybody else was British. And so they very much made a point of making it so like when shit would go wrong or anything else, like she had a totally different attitude than everybody else.
I wonder if she just couldn't do a believable English accent.
That might have been, but even I think it worked though, you know, having like a different like context in there during the show. It was nice to have like
The older ladies were my jam though, like Dowager and
Maggie Smith and
what's his name's mother? Graham's mother.
Yeah, no, it was Matt, wasn't it?
Matt, whatever.
I don't know.
Mary's fiance's mom.
Yeah. The second fiance? Yeah. She was in the opening episode. She had a fiance.
The other one. Yeah. The one who died.
The one who died, yeah.
Yeah.
His mom was totally awesome.
Yeah, I loved her. And they actually became friends.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They actually became friends.
We're live.
Apparently we're choppy and spotty, so Wi-Fi, sorry.
Our bad.
Is what is.
Yeah.
I
just realized, so I thought there was a timer on there to like tell us how long we've been on there. It's a countdown timer. Because we get 5 hours of free time. Which, just so you know, that's not going to happen because normally we take pee breaks and I edit that shit out, but tonight we can't because we're live. So at some point, me and Mindy are going to have to pee and we're going to be like, we're going to wrap this up.
So how long have we been on?
About, it looks like 32 minutes.
All right. So
it's counting down.
I'm good.
All right.
So, yeah, no, I started watching Sanditon,
okay.
which is kind of like Bridgerton. That's what they advertise it as. But I also, All Creatures Great and Small, James Herriot. Somebody wrote a book called All Creatures Great and Small under the pseudonym James Herriot. The actual person who wrote it was an actual veterinarian in the early 1900s, so it's based on his experiences.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. PBS, Masterpiece Theater.
Nice.
I also do Grantchester, which is about vicars. They're not priests because they hook up with chicks.
Pastors?
Kind of, yeah. They're reverends, vicars, whatever. They still wear collars, but it's very confusing because it's British, and I don't think it means the same thing.
Yeah.
I do that one. What other? Oh, Father Brown.
Oh, we started rewatching Friends from the beginning. We're in season 10 now.
You know, I just want to remember Friends how it was when I watched it originally, because now when I watch it, I'm like,
okay, there are some cringy moments. I will give you that. But the
nothing
overall...
is better than Joey and the Joey and the could I be wearing any more clothes?
Oh yeah. Joey's great. Well, and the thing I realized, so going back and rewatching it now, because I mean I used to watch it on TV all the time, but I wasn't a religious watcher of it. Like I didn't watch it every week, so there were definitely some episodes I missed. So we went back and we started watching it from the beginning, and now it's like our couple thing to do, and we're in season 10. But it's there's some cringy moments and things like that. But the thing I realized in like overarching everything, like I remember the entire Friends 10 years being all about Ross and Rachel, right? It's all about whether or not Ross and Rachel would get together. Now that we've gone back and binge watched it and like back to back for 10 seasons, I'm like, all of the other characters are fantastic. They all have arches where they grow and mature.
I love fucking Chandler, except for his like, you can see his Vicodin years show up.
Yeah, where he's super skinny and everything else. Yeah,
you can see the Vicodin years. You can see the recovery years. Where I'm like, oh, bloaty Chandler.
Yeah. He went through some stuff, but that's my thing. Like all of them kind of had arches, and even Rachel had a like overarching thing. But Ross just got more fucking annoying over 10 years.
Oh, I know.
Just more annoying. And not only that, but when you actually go and watch it and binge watch it, Ross and Rachel were only dating for like a total of like, I don't know, 6 episodes
Yeah.
in the first 9 seasons.
And then it was just like fucking up Emily's wedding.
Yeah.
And fucking up.
Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of fuck ups here and there, but like them actually being together in the like what? There's 24 episodes in a season, 10 season long, 24 episodes in a season. They were together for a total of like 6 fucking episodes.
But I do love, so in Friends, I still have some very favorite moments. So
Yeah.
Joey in the Thanksgiving pants,
Oh, yeah.
Joey in the could I be wearing any new clothes, Chandler doing anything.
Yeah, Chandler's
I just
my
love
favorite.
Chandler.
Yeah,
When
Chandler's
he's
my
like,
favorite.
I care about the weenus. Or weenus. I care about the weenus. And then it's not that common. It doesn't happen to every guy.
I knew it. He jumps out behind the door.
And then my favorite of all favorites is Ross and Phoebe arguing about evolution.
Oh yeah,
And he brings out the things and he's like, opposable thumbs. And she's like, do you mean that you think that there's no possibility? There's no, there's no opening. There's nothing.
And he's like, gives into
okay,
it.
but there's a possibility. And she
And
goes,
she's
you
like,
caved.
I can't believe you gave up on your ideals.
You folded on everything you ever believed in.
Oh, I remember that. That was a good one.
And then I liked when Paul Rudd joined.
Yeah, we're
Although when Hank Azaria was part of it, I love Hank Azaria's
I
character.
loved
He's
Hank
adorable.
Azaria. I mean, I like that she ended up with Paul Rudd. But at the
Even
same
liked
time,
when
like,
Michael, the cop.
oh yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
She dumped him after he shot the birds.
Well, here's my thing. Like when you're binge watching,
Michael Rappaport.
this is the hard part about binge watching it because like we're in the seasons and everything when she first started dating Paul Rudd, and like there's an entire episode about the fact that she has never been in a serious relationship.
What was his name that he went by? Like Michael Dirtbag or
I
Dick
don't
Bag
know.
or something?
But I'm like, she was in a really serious relationship with him. Like they almost been together. Like
Yeah.
you know, that was a serious relationship. But like the whole time in the episode, they're sitting there going, "Oh no, I guess you've never been in a serious relationship." I'm like, no, that happened. I mean, it was 2 seasons ago. But I just watched it last week.
Right.
Like I
And had
remember
he
that.
not gone to Antarctica, they would have been married.
Right. And I'm like, so like binge watching it, it's like there's a lot of things that like got forgotten because, you know, when it was released, it's like you watch this, you know, and they're 2 years apart, whatever else. I'm sure people don't remember that
Right.
crap. But now going back and binge watching it, you're like, no. Wait, that happened like 5 episodes ago.
You know, some of the things with binge watching are, so I like to watch on, most people, if you've got like broadcast TV, there's a channel called Ion.
Oh,
and so it broadcasts a bunch of things. So it also has Law and Order.
The
And I'll go back and watch Law and Order
Yeah.
episode after episode after episode. And it wasn't until I was watching it a lot on Annie when it was on Annie, and then I picked it up on Ion again.
Yeah.
It took a while, but eventually I was like, they keep using the exact same fucking actors.
Mm-hmm.
On
For extras.
extra, so on different episodes,
Yeah.
in different Law and Orders, and it'll be like so and so plays, and they're like key characters, and they're just like, we keep using them, and it reminds me of British shows where they're like, they played, and you go back and look at it, and they're like, they played this person in season 1 and this person in season 8. I'm like, did you think we weren't going to notice?
Okay, that always drove me nuts about Doctor Who when they had Peter Capaldi come on because he was the dude like at St. Vesuvius or whatever.
Right, but that also explained where they said the faces always come from someplace.
Right. Well, but I feel like they wrote that in because they used the
Because
same
they
actors. They're like, we want to use him. We
By
gotta
the way,
explain this.
Fucking Craig Ferguson is not Doctor Who before I die. I will, before he dies, one of us is going to die first. I want Craig Ferguson to be Doctor Who so bad. I don't know if he's in the running, but Whittaker is going to retire. I haven't watched this season, but I mean, I think
It's because it's hard to. I signed up.
Tennant and Smith were the longest running doctors.
Yeah, they did 3 years. Well, and Whittaker did 3 years too, but she did less episodes, I think, in the
Right.
3 years.
Oh
So,
my God, David Tennant was the perfect doctor. But the
Yeah.
people who, when Capaldi was going to be doctor, were like, the doctor can't be Scottish. And people were like, David Tennant, are you fucking kidding me? He's also Scottish.
yeah. I went back and rewatched everything Doctor Who like during quarantine. I went back to the
Yeah.
beginning and rewatched the entire thing, and then I had to buy AMC Plus, I think it was. I did my free trial for 7 days.
Oh, HBO Max?
No.
Okay.
So the whole series is on HBO Max, but the new series with Jodie Whittaker,
Okay.
the newest one, they didn't put on HBO Max. It's like on AMC Plus or something. So I went and got AMC Plus, and I did a 7-day free trial, and I binged watched the entire season, and then I canceled my thing because that was the only thing I wanted to watch on there. So I got the new season in.
We haven't watched
it.
the new season
Oh.
yet because we didn't watch the last episode of the. I think we've talked about it on here before.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the last episode of Supernatural because if I don't watch it,
Then it's not
it
over.
didn't end.
Yeah.
So I feel that I waited a year and a half to watch the last episode of 11.
Okay.
The last, not episode, it was like 3 or 4 episodes. I waited forever.
Yeah.
Honey and I were dating by then, and I watched it, I think, without him because he wasn't caught up and it doesn't make sense to him.
Right.
So I think I have him a few episodes into 10.
Okay.
But I think you really have to write out the Rose Tyler.
Yeah.
You have to get attached to Rose Tyler, that whole timeline, that
do.
whole
There's a lot of
her being in
underlying
Bad Wolf Bay
stuff. Yeah.
and him projecting to that. Oh my God. When he almost says I love you, but then he fades out and he just says it in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But then when she comes back and gets the human doctor,
Yeah.
she gets his when he splits and gets the
His little
human doctor.
doppelganger. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, she got her own doctor.
Yeah.
He loved her, and that's probably the last human that any doctor's fallen in love with. Well, I would say that Matt fell in love with Clara. I would say 11 fell in love with Clara.
Yeah,
to
but
a
I feel
degree.
like it was a different kind of love there. It wasn't like a romantic thing more. It was like a dependency kind of thing
Yeah.
almost.
Well, I think he also came into his because the fact that they're going backwards. So River was coming to the end of her arc, which means he would have been coming to the beginning of his arc with her.
Yeah.
So I think he was falling in love with River
Right.
at the time that she was about to burn out,
Right.
on her character. So watching him fall in love with River was adorable.
Right. But also painful because she was already in love with him and it was already
Right.
It was the end of her time.
Amy's wedding
Oh,
is my favorite thing when they're outside of the wedding and she goes, are you married? And he goes, are you asking me to marry you? Or are you asking me if I'm married? And she goes, yes. And I'm like, oh.
No.
The fact that all of the doctors know because it goes back to the library episode of Dr. Ken when she whispers his name into his ear and he was like, there's only one reason you would know that.
Right.
And then that comes up when they're in, and then you actually get to see them get married because that's when they got married.
Right.
And I'm like,
I loved the entire, so as much as I loved the doctors individually, I love the entire storyline of River.
yeah.
That was by far my favorite thing.
It was
they did.
weird her being teenage River when she's
Yeah.
clearly a 50-year-old woman.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that was definitely a little,
The whole kill Hitler thing.
Yeah.
I will say this: Supernatural had a way better kill Hitler timeline than fucking Dean. I killed Hitler. Are you ever gonna let that go? No. No. I killed Hitler.
Not letting that go.
Oh my God.
I did that shit.
Have you guys binged Supernatural?
No, we haven't. So I watched the first episode, but I haven't gone past that. It's one of those shows that's kind of like on the docket to do, but I never quite get to it.
Our friend Jody and her husband finally finished it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad talking to them about it because I feel like I'm way more enthused about it than they are. Maybe you and I should binge watch it together because I don't feel like our significant others are like. My husband is indifferent to the entire situation.
Well, I will say my significant other is the one who wanted me to watch it in the first place. So I think he genuinely enjoys it. But I don't know how far he's gotten in it or if he stopped halfway through or whatever. So
It's hard. The first 3 seasons are really hard because they really take themselves seriously, but you need the exposition to get into it.
yeah.
I'm going to fangirl hard. We'll just stop there. You need, I can talk. We can do 5 episodes on my feelings about Supernatural.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm in that point now where I feel like, the series that have 10, 12 seasons,
Yeah.
they're real hard to get into because, you have to binge watch so much. I'm really waiting for, there's a couple of things that I'm waiting for. I love Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Oh, Honey's watched all of them. Honey watched all of those. Magicians.
I haven't watched The Magicians. I want to see the next season of Wix, fairies.
I should talk about all of the bullshit
Oh my
that he
God.
watches because I don't watch it. I would have, but then I go and watch it with him and I'm like, I don't I think it's The Magicians, which is the one that has so many alternate worlds. And
I
I'm
think
like,
I
I fucking
started-
don't want to do this.
I think I might have started watching the first episode of that.
But I like the one that's like werewolves and witches.
Yeah.
I don't know which one that is. I really like that one. And then there's a zombie one, and they left off that they're in a mall. That's all I know.
I don't know that one.
I don't know. He likes zombie things. He
I'm-
likes Z.
I'm not a zombie person. I don't do zombies.
I kind of watched Z-Land,
SeaWorld?
World, something like
There was
that.
a movie I think called SeaWorld with Brad Pitt in it.
No, not that one.
Okay.
This was with a blue guy. He was a zombie, but he was like an intelligent zombie who was like not a brain-eating zombie.
Interesting.
He was. He had the cure in him. I don't know. I don't know. So you just mentioned before, I have on my list Kim, Kanye, Pete Davidson.
I did, yes.
So do you know anything about that?
All I know, okay, so I'm going to say what I know, and you correct all the things that I say wrong.
Okay, so I am a fucking drama mama.
Okay. So all I know, all right, preface this, which I don't hate the Kardashians, but I really just don't like Kardashians. Kim went on SNL and had a skit with Pete that everybody went apeshit over, and now Kim's dating Pete. And the only thing I heard was now Kanye's kind of stalking Kim, and Kim and Pete are maybe engaged. Okay. How wrong am I?
Okay, so how Kim and Pete met, yes, was on SNL.
Okay.
But apparently the scuttlebutt is that because he also met, I think, Ariana Grande the same way.
Yeah.
But the scuttlebutt is that on set, he is a perfect gentleman. He is professional. He doesn't hit on them.
I heard that's why they all want to date him, because he's like a lovely human being.
He doesn't do shit. Like, he doesn't hit on them. He doesn't want to, like, he's not like, hey, baby, what's up? The kiss was like all part of the script. It was just, that was it. And then they're like smitten with him because he doesn't want anything, like he's not trying to hit on them.
Yeah.
Apparently his appeal also lies in the fact that he has such a great relationship with his mom, and he's such a gentleman, and he's funny, which I can see. I actually think that he's cute. Is he gorgeous? Is he handsome? Is he whatever? No, but he's fucking cute as shit. And his sense of humor.
Okay, he looks cute, but he also looks dirty to me.
Okay, true. But his sense of humor is like what I like. The fact that, but I like self-deprecating humor.
I mean, he's very funny to me.
So the fact that he makes fun of himself all the time cracks me up. When he was going through, when he went into rehab, when he went into mental health rehab, when he was going through all of that, and like Lauren stuck with him through all that, and then he went on like the news segment, and he was like, here's the deal. I'm bipolar, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm like finally medicated. Yay. And he was very clear about the fact that, like, you know, the show stuck with him. They should have fired him.
Yeah.
But he's like, they're still with me, so it's great. And they've kind of let him have his own space to be his own thing.
Nice.
I have not watched The King of Staten Island, but I heard it's brilliant.
What's The King of Staten Island?
It's a movie that he was in.
Okay.
It's semi-based on his life. So his dad died in 9/11.
Okay.
His dad was a firefighter in 9/11. So it's kind of semi-based on his life. But anyway, so Kim catches the Pete Davidson bug, and they start kind of going out or whatever. But she's in the middle of, she made fun of, joked about getting a divorce from Kanye, which wasn't like settled.
Right.
Like it was kind of like
It was still in the
not
air.
public that it was happening. So then she made a joke about it, and he was like, SNL made her get a divorce from me. She was like, no.
That's not right.
So then all of this shit happened, and she's been like dating Pete, and then Kanye's been like low key, not even low key. He's been like high key, like fucking publicly stalking her.
Yeah.
Sending like a truck of flowers to her. Not just stalking her, but like, what do I want to say? Threatening Pete Davidson in all manners that you can.
That's
So
not
he like made a music video where he takes a Pete Davidson lookalike, buries him to his shoulders, and then like machetes his head off or something. I don't know.
fuck's sake.
Like it, like kills the guy, and he's made like verses about him, and he's just obsessed with Pete Davidson.
Wow.
So here's my thing. The reason I had it written down is because
Yeah.
he has a lot of supporters, like people who are like, "Yay, you! Good for you doing this."
Are you kidding me?
No. He has a lot of people who are supporting him in this. I am feeling a lot of echo. Sorry.
It's fine.
It caught my attention all of a sudden.
It's been happening all night, and
squirrel.
I don't know how to fix it. So all
Anyway.
you people who are going to complain about the fucking echo, fuck you.
I'm getting money from my house. We'll buy a better mixing board. Brandy has something picked out already. It'll be good.
do. It's got all kinds of fun buttons on it. They're colorful and
Yay.
awesome.
Brandy's gonna spend my money. It'll be fine. It's good. That's what it's there for. So anyway, he's been doing all this bullshit. But my thing is that if he were any other common human being, nobody would be supporting him doing this.
No, nobody would support that shit.
You would not have to ask somebody to not publicly stalk you.
Yeah, no.
But she like has to go in public and be like, "Hey, can you not stalk me? That'd be awesome." So anyway, that was my whole point about that. So I don't understand why people make excuses, because people are literally making excuses for him. Like, he's fighting for his family. He's doing this. He's doing that. And I'm
That's
like, dude,
not fighting for your family. That's being a douchebag.
especially when it's women who are like, he's fighting for his family. And I'm like, bitch, do you know how dangerous this all is?
Yeah.
Like, this is very dangerous.
I don't care how much I dislike how the Kardashians came to power.
I don't
or
think
how
you
they
get to
became
do
famous
this
or
shit
whatever.
to
No.
anybody.
Nobody deserves that. Like she could be like my biggest enemy, which she's not because I don't know her. But and I don't really have that many enemies. I don't think. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
do. Who knows? But like
If you don't like us, email us.
nobody deserves that.
No.
Like nobody deserves that kind of treatment. Like I don't care if
and
you're a
not to
celebrity
know
or
what's
not.
gonna
Like
happen.
that's not. Yeah.
Like where he's going to be, what he's going to do. He has infinite amounts of money.
And she is a celebrity, which means there are people constantly tracking where she is, what she's
Right.
doing, and all these other things. So he has access to more information than most people do,
Right. And
which
I
is terrifying.
I want to separate that from like now I would call her on her bullshit about the whole like women just need to, if you want to be successful, you just need to work your ass off and get up off your ass. Okay, we're gonna separate that part out. Let's just cut that part out because that's a
I
whole
have some
different
words about
fucking
that.
thing. Because poor women work harder than anybody
Yeah.
else. Poor women work harder than her privileged fucking ass.
Right.
But her privilege fucking ass does not deserve to be stalked
Right.
by this person.
That is true.
Hi, Allie.
Hey, this is another part I usually cut out, but since we're live, we're not gonna. We have a fabulous bartender downstairs who comes up and gets us
Allie.
new drinks.
So I just don't think she deserves to. I don't think anybody deserves to be stalked. I don't think there's anything you can do that deserves you being stalked by anybody.
No, I think that's definitely true.
But I think that
you
like
know.
she's getting dismissed because she makes money, and people are like, she should be used to it.
Well, and people dismiss her because she's a celebrity and because of how she got, all of the things that you may have issues. I don't care what issues you have with any woman.
Right.
It doesn't matter what issues you have with any woman. There is no reason any woman should have to be put through the ordeal of having somebody stalk them or abuse them or harass them or do anything. And not even women, men too.
Right.
There's no reason that any human being should have to be put through that, regardless of who they are or how much money they have or anything else, because I'm sorry, we're all human beings together in this lovely little shit world, and you know what, we should treat each other with respect regardless of what. You cannot like me, but like, I'm sorry, you're not going to come and stalk me at my house and everything else and make me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
First of all, if you do that, I will kick you in the fucking eye. But like, seriously, like, just
And
don't.
we're in Ohio. Within like 68 days or something like that, I can carry concealed without having a permit.
Oh,
So
wait, they did a day thing.
it's like it was 90 days from when he signed it.
Oh,
So
yeah. So yeah, I can just like, and there's a stand your ground thing now, so I can just like chase you down the street and shoot you if I want to, because I felt in danger.
so there's that.
Not that I will, because I don't have a gun, but still,
The only other
I
thing
got some high heels and still.
the only other thing I wanted to mention before we go off and identify ourselves is that we have a crumble cookie in our world now.
Wait, what's a crumble cookie?
Oh my God! I will send you some crumble cookies. They are okay. You should just get the wrap.
Okay.
This week I have ordered crumble cookies twice.
Okay.
I've ordered a peanut butter Snickers cookie.
Okay.
I have ordered
Mindy was having trouble finding her fingers.
pink sugar cookie.
She's using a number of things.
And I have had
And she's using a pen.
an iced oatmeal cookie
Nice.
and a key lime
Ooh,
cookie.
I do love key
I
lime.
didn't know I liked key lime pie until I had this fucking cookie.
Oh, I love key lime. Oh, key lime cheesecake's the best.
Yeah.
Key lime's good.
It's fucking good.
It's very good. Yeah.
These cookies are like 900 calories a piece.
Oh,
but
yeah, they're horrible.
They will also deliver them to your house
Oh, God.
every time we've gone. So they're over by Diamonds.
Uh-huh.
Every time we've gone.
For anybody else who's listening, Diamonds is a strip club.
So they're like in that shopping center.
Yeah.
Let's identify them better. They're in front of where Box is. Box Brewery. So every time I've gone by there, like there's a line around. But you know what? Why wait in line when you can have them deliver them to you within like 3 hours?
Yeah.
Usually it's like 40 minutes. So
Yeah.
I've been having cookies delivered to our house.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna weigh 900 pounds soon. We'll be on our thing. But anyway.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. I feel like, is there anything else important we need to
No, I
talk
feel like
about?
we need to identify ourselves.
We do. So I'm going to start doing this that I would normally do. And that's plain, even though we can't really hear it because I don't know how to do things.
So on Instagram, you can
Yeah.
find us at DBBL_podcast. Same for Twitter at DBBL_podcast. TikTok at Drunk Bitches Be Like, all one word.
Woohoo, TikTok.
Woo!
They let us swear.
Facebook, DBBL Podcast. Gmail, DBBLpodcast@gmail.com. And
YouTube is also DBBL Podcast, and our website is dbblpodcast.com.
excellent. And you can find us
Fantastic.
on Spreaker. You can find us anywhere you find podcasts.
That's right. So make sure you listen in to all of our fabulous things, because if this sucked and you couldn't hear us because we were cutting out or anything else, it was live. It was our first time, and you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just going with the flow, and go listen to our other 22 episodes, and I'm sure they will sound better.
Thank you for tuning in. This was because of our 1,000th download. We're past that now.
Yep.
Oh, also, congratulations to all of our giveaway winners. I'm not going to go through it because I have to pee, but you know who you are. Go look on Twitter if you want to know who
love
they
you
are.
all.
But love you all, and cheers.
Cheers.